28 November 2022. Private space, private living. We make a movement today, quite simple, quite clear. Special eyes on Asia. And Asia is, that underground that likes to cut and do mutilations against people that sometimes do not belong to that thing. And of course that you shouldn't do the institutional control, even as a criminal institution, against variables that do not belong to your criminal system. First use you could have Republicans Democratic failure in the middle of two both as purpose failure. Go in all areas, including, for instance, the Western society and the Eastern society, impacting the global community. Model used to trick this, the American grid, we kind of will have segments with distribution by levels as complexity alpha, A capital letter, A small letter, which can be, for instance, alpha western, A one specific conjuncture, A small letter, a department or office in a company or public segment, and the chairs on it will help a lot. The regression will do, and we consider, for instance, have all hot money and on UK bank and a single transfers to India and have this on China as a single channel. If you did or not, we never know. We will observe that the situation here, new pen, we will have kind of that model, as you could observe, the American grid, the distribution, observing the normal curve. This entire thing is the underground, but inside the underground I can obtain or offer a privilege and corrupt the underground, putting a pressure or something on it. And if it goes on Asia, we'll have a lot of fingers cutted as mutilation, because they like to do this. We can work with this model here, different areas, for instance, white side, black side, gray zone. Gray zone knows the white failure, the black failure. Gray zone western implies bubbles as logical gap on white and black, or we shouldn't have the gray business. Lack of records as integrity, debit and credit, corporate economy, supply and demand, microeconomy, investment save curve, the conjunctural or macroeconomy. The model we could have as complexity American grid goes in three levels as corporate economy, microeconomy, and macroeconomy. Involve economic agents, corporate area, governments, state, failures on it, gray zone, integrated all, no, all failures of them all. Logical gap as intention, or we shouldn't have the integration as gray zone. Indeed we have, and it's traced. And we will do something evil now, at least suggest. We will transfer all gray zone asset to Asia, and we'll take from Asia all health asset as Western health asset, and we will let only rotten asset on Asia. Why? Because they like to cut and do mutilation against people that sometimes are not part of their environment, that's underground. And the gray asset, as you could observe, has traces as underground. And then we will transfer this to Asia. And guess what? One more time. The possibility as failure, gray zone, will have a decreasement on Western society, transferring all rotten assets to Asia. And the Asia, in order to obtain the same following the trending as leading, will do the crackdown of Hotten Asia asset or Hotten Asia asset A, or the Hotten asset on Asia A. And this goes inside the conjuncture A, which implies Hotten asset. Let's set our interval Hotten asset Asia, which is in general a genuine Asian Hotten asset. Hotten asset on Asia, it's the storm cloud transference from Western society to Asia. If you accept the weak dollars, you can accept for sure the Hotten asset as gray asset, because it's not white, it's not black, but a failure of both as gray. Now the Asia has an interval here with closed interval. On IBM it's named closed door procedure. And they must do the crackdown against the Hotten asset from Western on Asia under material management, because after they do this crackdown session at this, I will ask as a halterization, I'm haltering to the authorities and department that did these questions related with Western interests. And they must do this in the same way as choice. They can have only two choices. Choice number one, Hotten asset on Asia from Western, Hotten Asian asset as genuine Asia. And I will ask only the situation about the Hotten Western asset on Asia as part of Western interest under material management, leading to the departments that made a crackdown, and I know my asset, now I know the authorities on it. And then you will probably observe that the casino thing and all things probably will be here, and having clear that the corruption in the departments failure has failed by something that's not white as corporative area, it's not black as public area, but gray failure it both. I will use the same model. And another thing, we have on Western home ancient a property that belongs to the property as itself, which named propter rem. It means that all assets under material management with departure from Western and arriving on Asia has records on it. The history, the data coming from West and will be on Asia collecting more records. And by the right that I has as the owner of the asset, I will kind of try to understand, but I guess what? I can do the transference, a selling, offering, a donation, whatever. But I will have the interest through embassies about the Western operation. And we will have records on it. And if you are tracking the fake records, and the fake records go by the corruption of white and black areas to set the gray as misperception, which is an illusion, not anymore with the possibility as continue. If the Asia do not give me the proper information or do not act, are they outlaw? which is the guarantee as outlaw. We are working with cybersecurity. And cybersecurity, doing things in the way we are doing, or by law, of course that, we are upholding the stability of the system, globally speaking, through this Western operation, transferring rotten asset from Western to Asia, having the proper hand as the record and the history of this asset as data, even after the entrance on Asia, under material management to do the authorization about all things that this asset will suffer, leading to the internal corruption on Asia, in general the organized crime acting in a transcontinental level by local connection under the interconnective interface until get the transcontinental level. It's the research of the Interpol. And we are kind of having the transnational organized crime on Asia, especially on casino and things like this. And they must talk and cut themselves fingers. Instead, cut the Western fingers that has no relation with the Asian underground. Can you apply your underground premises against this, evidence prepared to you start your own clean of your own house? Asia. Have a great week.